Hello, YouTube. Message and Impala here with another video. Now, it's been a while since I made a YouTube video. My latest YouTube shorts, I was talking about the cleft lip. And of course, I was also talking about me being wrong because I realized this person that I sent a letter to, basically a video letter, she's still with the other guy. And that kind of surprised me because I could swear she broke up with him, but maybe my information was wrong. Anyway, I'll discuss that in later video. Keep in mind, I'm not trying to harass or stalk anyone. I'm just trying to reach out and communicate with that person. But using the internet, that's my only form of trying to reach out because I'm physically far, far away from that individual. So yeah. But anyway, back to the subject of the main video. The subject of this video is a little bit sensitive for me, but I really want to talk about it because the whole point of this YouTube channel, guys, which I named myself Message in a Bottle, is to essentially share my personal life experience, kind of like a diary, and hopefully you guys could get wisdom out of it and make better decision for yourself. The number one thing that I always advocate in this YouTube channel is think for yourself. Whatever situation that you're facing, it's yours alone. A lot of people could help you, but one thing I realized is that people they'll definitely help you. The thing is that they could help you with so much. The rest is on your own. So for me, a lot of people could help me out, but there's so much that they could help me out. The rest is literally on my own, and I have to do things on my own. So thinking independently, doing stuff on your own, learning how to take care of yourself is an important skill that, in my opinion, people needs to develop, especially when you become an adult. Sadly, the world that we live in, people don't really teach you that properly, and as a result, we grew up very spoiled, we grew up very poor, and we kind of grow up being dependent on something, whether it's family, the system, finance system, even the whole, what's it called, the social welfare thing. Yeah, it's pretty sad when you see it. But anyway, guys, on the subject of this video, it's essentially something that I was born with, the cleft lip. And just a little reminder, this video, I'm not trying to be negative. It is going to sound negative because of the outcome and stuff that I cannot control. But keep in mind, guys, I'm not looking for pity. I'm not looking for anything. I essentially just want to share my story and talk about my experience and what I dealt and went through. So, the cleft lip. The cleft lip, it's essentially a genetic disorder that you are born with. Sadly, there's nothing much you can do once you get the cleft lip. The only thing you can do is the aftermath when you're essentially born with. After you're born, the best thing you could do is get surgery. They call it jaw surgery or facial maxillofacial. It's a mouthful, but it's a facial maxillofacial surgery, and those surgeries are very expensive. In matter of fact, me personally, I'm very happy that I'm about to get my own surgery, but this surgery led me to some shameful discovery, which I'm gonna discuss in a bit. But what I want to say is that this cleft lip, I got it. It's both the cleft lip and the palate. And the palate, it's kind of important here because it affects your face and affects the formation of your teeth. So, for me personally, as I was born with this and grew up, I had a hard time talking, but I really wanted to socialize. So, you could say that I grew up a little awkward, and people they look at me with they they notice that there's something off about me, but they couldn't really pinpoint out until they see the scar on my upper lip. And the cleft lip, they tend to they do leave a scar on your upper lip. And when I was a little child, I clearly did remember I did had surgery. I'm not sure how many surgeries, but it was surgeries as an attempt to fix my whole facial structure, especially the upper jaw, because it was both a cleft lip and a palate. And the palate, because it affects essentially your upper jaw, my teeth they weren't really properly formatting. And what's funny is that eventually I got braces, but I stopped having those braces because my gums were getting swollen, and that's the part where I learned the hard way how personal hygiene is very important. So yeah, I kind of learned that the hard way, especially as a young child. But um, my teeth right now they're like very good as until back then it was very horrible, like horribly crooked. But here's the thing, braces they really do not fix the fundamental of this genetic disorder. And when I was a little child, I clearly remember a dental assistant. He was talking to me as if he was insulting me, saying that, wow, you need braces. You need braces, man. You need braces. He said that while I was kind of like on the chair while they were working on my teeth. And I clearly remember I felt a little bit insulted the way he said it, but he said it in a way that he like it's on my control. In reality, it's not in my control. And now looking back at it, it's kind of funny that he said that because having braces in order to fix the formation of your teeth is not gonna fix the fundamental. What is gonna fix the fundamental is jaw surgery. So I feel like that dental assistant he should have said jaw surgery instead of braces. But I just find that funny, and I just want to throw it out there. But yeah, as I'm growing up, I kind of noticed that yeah, my face is not normal, and it should be more straightened out. Now, personally, guys, I don't consider myself that great looking, but for some reason, I managed to. I don't know how, but I managed to attract some women. So eventually, I got a girlfriend. But in high school, I clearly remember people were kind of making fun of me because the way I talk. And yes, this cleft lip thing, this palate thing, it does affect the way you talk because as you guys could see in the picture, and I'm gonna show another picture, it does affect the whole jaw thing, especially the upper jaw, and it does affect the formation of your teeth. And because of that, it also affects the way you speak. And I did a little research about the whole cleft thing. It's very rare, but when it does happen, it's usually fixed through surgery. And luckily, through, because surgery is becoming more and more, how do I say this? The techniques of a surgery is becoming more improved over time. Getting a surgery for the palate cleft is vastly becoming more improved and to the point where it looks like you never had it in the first place. So as I was growing up, I did have a couple of surgeries, but it was incomplete. And because it was incomplete, people they kind of look at me as if there was something off about me. But it's funny now that I think about it. Majority of the time, when people get to know me properly, they know that I'm smart, but at the same time, I'm kind of shy, nervous, a little bit. What's the best way I could say? Paranoid. Paranoid because it has to do with childhood, especially the way my mother raised me. Paranoid because I'm kind of like always scared of people's wrath or opinion, but it's mostly because of my childhood, the way my mother raised me. My mother was a little bit abusive, so because of that, um, I did like grew up a little shy, paranoid, all that stuff. But the number one thing that people always said to me when they got to know me properly is that I'm smart, but misunderstood. And for some reason, that always stuck with me because I kind of wonder why. And when I examine my face especially around my teenage years, more closely, especially looking at my face at a different angle. I could see why people say that. People say that because my face is, there's something off about it. Even though it looks slightly normal, there is something off about it. And well, I don't want to say what I'm currently doing, but I will say this. Very recently, I discovered that the series of surgeries that I had throughout my childhood, it was not really completed. A random stranger that was looking into my medical history, which she was authorized to do so, but I call her a random stranger because I don't know her properly. She just doing me a favor for to get some governmental history that I need to get. Because she was authorized to do so, she looked throughout my history and she noted that I was missing a surgery, and that struck me in revelation. Now, as of me making this video, I'm right now impending to get another jaw surgery in order to properly fix this. And this jaw surgery is, you could say, what I needed to fix what's left from my childhood. And it really hit me when that random stranger told me about it, because looking all the way back to my childhood, it made me wonder how my life could have been different if I if that series of surgery was completed in the first place. Because when you're a child, and this is something I want people to understand, when you're a little kid and when you're still that age where you're growing up, your body is still forming. Your body is still shaping itself in order to become a fully grown adult. That includes your bones and your facial structure. So, me having that knowledge that I was missing a surgery, it really did struck a nerve to me, because it made me wonder how my life could have been different if I had that surgery in the first place. And more importantly, I was super upset with my parents because they should have known this from the very start. And I clearly remember my parents, they had a good sum of money because, long story short, my parents, they won a lawsuit, and that lawsuit gave my parents a good sum of money. On top of that, my one of my parents got a very well-paying job, so his income was vastly increased. So looking back and acknowledging that, while acknowledging that I was missing a surgery, they should have, done something about it, but they never did. And that's why this news kind of struck a nerve to me, because it made me wonder, was pure neglect or something else? But more importantly, and this is something people don't want to talk about because it's super taboo to talk about it, is what people don't dislike talking about is how looks matter. And yes, looks does matter. Let's be real. A lot of people, they're shallow. A lot of people don't want to admit this, but this is the reality. Looks does matter. My face is kind of asymmetrical and it's kind of uneven. When I look at myself in the mirror, I could see why. It's because the aftermath of the cleft lip. So yes, the cleft lip does affect your face. In one of the pictures that I showcase, it talks about facial maxilla. It's a mouthful, but that terminology should already tell you that yes, cleft lip does affect your face. So, as you can imagine, having this news affected me a lot. And now that I'm being offered of a surgery to fix it once and for all, I'm both happy and a little bit worried, because right now it's pending and I am not sure if this opportunity will be taken away from me permanently, or I will finally get it. But yeah, this this left me like emotionally stricken because this is something that I should have had in my childhood. And my parents, they're not bad people. It made me wonder if they did that out of neglect or they just didn't bother looking into it. But whenever I examine my face more closely, it's super obvious that I kind of need something like that in order to improve myself. But now, since I'm an adult, I gotta take care of it. But when you're a child, there's nothing much you can do, especially when it comes to finance and medical, uh, authorization, all that stuff. But yeah, it really did struck a nerve. And the people that knows me, they know that I'm sort of a goofball, and because of my goofballish personality, people often mistaken that I'm dumb, retarded, because I have that quote unquote face. But in reality, when people get to know me better, they realize that I'm not that dumb. I'm just anxious and a little bit on the paranoid side. But I do get my shit together, and when I lock it in, I do get the job done. And that's why throughout my working history, I almost never got fired. Matter of fact, I don't think I ever got fired. I only got laid off, but that's because the company didn't need me. And every time when I quit a job, I quit out of the fact that I just need more free time on my hand. Like I'm going back to college, or I'm quitting the job because I found a better job than before, which I'll make another video discussing about my job histories. But yeah, like I almost never got fired. I did get in trouble just for saying the wrong things, but when it comes to work and discipline, I do get the job done, and I do become like a reliable person because I know what to do. But because this whole cleft lip and my face being asymmetrical, it does, affects you. And people, they don't like to talk about how looks matter because it's very taboo, and it makes people uncomfortable with this truth. But the truth is, yes, looks does matter. That's all I gotta say. And it made me wonder how my life is gonna be if I did have this surgery, if I did had this whole cleft lip thing fixed once and for all. It really did make me wonder. But more importantly, it also made me question my parents and their decision when I was a little child. Don't get me wrong, guys. I still love my parents. The thing is that the stuff they did and the decision they make was very questionable, and it always made me wonder, why they did the things they did. I will make another video discussing about my parents, but that will be a little bit of a while until I get comfortable with it. But yeah, this whole cleft lip thing, it really struck a nerve when I discovered that I was missing a surgery. And all I gotta say, guys, is that this cleft lip is not terrible, it's not bad. It affects your speech. So as you could tell, the way I talk, I do have like some kind of speech impediment, but I do try my best to speak correctly. And of course, it affects the way you eat because my teeth, they're not properly aligned. So I do eat a little weird, and I do have a little. Oh, and one thing, this might sound disgusting, but this is a fact. Because of the palate, and because the palate has like this weird hole between the jaw and the nose, I do feel a little sensation of mucus coming down to my mouth, which I know that sounds disgusting, but that's the reality of having cl- a cleft palate and a cleft lip. And yeah, because of all this health stuff that's out of my control, because keep in mind, this is purely genetic, this is something that I was born with, it really does make me wish that I was a little bit on the normal side. But sadly, this is the body that I was born with. There's nothing much I could do except improve on it and do the best I can. Or just like what in the Boondock series says when Grandpa gave his kids advice, do what you can when you feel like there's nothing you can do. So yeah, this is my basically my story, my experience with the cleft palate. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down in the comment section below. I will try my best to answer them. So yeah, and the reason why I included the whole looks does matter is because it really does. I'll never forget how people at first dislike me until when they get to know me properly, and then they start liking me. So yeah. Message in the bottle, over and out, and please like and subscribe, all that guys, all that jazz. And see you guys. Have a good day.